Hello, everyone. I figured I would do a quick walkthrough of the Flowgorithm assignment since it's a new tool for a lot of you. So I'll just walk down the assignment step by step. So the first thing you need to do is to download and install Flowgorithm. And so to do that, you could just go ahead and Google Flowgorithm, and there you go. You can hit download and then download the Windows installer. It's currently not officially available for Mac or Ubuntu. Um, so your choices would be to find a machine, borrow it from someone. If you don't have one with Windows running on it, you'll be able to install Flowgorithm. I use a Mac and I was able to install Flowgorithm using this GitHub repository. But if you're not very technically sound, it might be difficult. And there's a big security hole here because this is not from a trusted group or anything. It's just random people that manage and run this repository. So at your own risk type of thing. But let's walk down the assignment. So this is what Flowgorithm looks like when you open it brand new, a new file. So it says download and install, create a new file. So we have a new file right here. Add your information. So create a comment at the top of the program, entering your name and section. So if you right click here, you can select a few different types of blocks that we can use inside. And so we need comment first. So I'm going to click comment and I'm going to add in my name, CTI 110, and then my section. I think there's 3 zeros. There we go. All right, so we've added the comment, and then we need to create two variables. Okay, so to use a variable, you need to declare it first and then assign it. You cannot assign a variable that hasn't been declared. So declared is kind of like the birthing process. You're telling the machine what type of variable it's going to be so that when you assign it, you can assign the proper type of data in there. So variables can be of different types. So let's show you the declaration. Variable name. So it looks like we're building a calculator where we're going to input two numbers. So I'm just going to call this first one num1, and this is what I was talking about. So when you're declaring a variable, you have to give it a type. It could be a string, integer, real, or Boolean. These obviously, integer and real refer to mathematical types, and then Boolean is true or false, and then string is a text. So you could put letters, numbers, symbols, anything like that in a string. So because we're making a calculator, I'm going to use integer for my number 1. All right, that's declared. We need to declare 2. So I'm going to go ahead and declare my second one. And I'm going to call this num2. So basically my calculator will take in two numbers and then do something with it. Now that they are declared, I can actually assign those as inputs. So I created those two, and now we're going to ask the user for those. So at first, I'm going to ask the user for num1. Next, I'm going to ask the user for num2. So again, this is where I declared the two variables, and now I've asked the user for those two variables. Next step is to perform the calculation. So now that we have those numbers, we need to perform the calculation. However, when I do the calculation, I'll need to save that result somewhere. So I need to create another variable called result. And that's where the result will be stored. So I can't use a result variable until it's actually created. And so that's why I had to create that first. And now I can perform the task. So the calculation will be store the result in result. And what do we store in here? num1 plus num2. All right, so we're adding num1 and num2 that were inputted by the user and storing the result in result, which was declared right up here. And then we're going to output the result. And so we'll look for the output block right down here. Open that up. What do we want to output? Result. There we go. All right, so theoretically, we're declaring two numbers. We're asking the user for those numbers. We're creating a result object, a variable, storing the result of the computation, and then outputting it to the user. So when I hit play, theoretically, this is going to ask me for my first number. So I'll give it 2, then enter my second number. That's 3, and it gives me 5. So it's added those two and giving me the result, and the program is over. And so that's what the assignment this week asked for. But it also asks for test cases. Whenever we're making a program, we usually have a goal, right? We're taking in some inputs and producing a result, and the result should be expected based on whatever inputs were given in. So if I put in 2 and 3, I always want my program to put out 5 as a result. And so we're going to create a new comment at the top of the program after your name. In here, I'm going to add test cases. So test cases. So a test case could be inputs 2, 3, output 5. All right, we just tested that. That worked. I'm going to copy this. We need 3 test cases. So I'm going to put 3 here. And let's use 100, 200. And let's do 0 and 1. So 0 and 1 should be 1. And 100 and 200 should be 300. So when we're testing, you ideally want to, use stuff that either breaks your test, is a really large number or really small number. Those are called edge cases, and those are ways to make sure your program is really robust before you decide that it's complete. And so let's run these tests. So 100, 200 is 300. Perfect. And let's run this again. 0, 1, 1. Perfect. So the program works. At this point, we can go ahead and click File, Save. We'll save it as the default, which is a .fprg file, and then you can go ahead and submit it. And that's it for this week's assignment.